What's up guys, MainManSWE here and welcome back to Tekken 8 in 8 minutes, and it's another time for one of my favorites, Steve Fox. I feel like I say that one of my favorites every video, but I love these characters. I love them so much. He's the boxer, super unique. Doesn't have kick buttons, he sways and ducks instead. Highly unique character. Huge strengths, gigantic weaknesses. Huge contrasts with this character, but mainly about this attack. Boosh! Bagoosh! The back one. Truly defining attack. We call him a counter hit paragon. He's a counter hit god. He is a pressure god. Drawbacks are he has like no punishment at all. And he doesn't rely on a conventional 50-50. We're gonna get into it. But first of all, back one, left hook. Doesn't look like much, but has a gigantic hitbox that people press into. And counter it launches for huge damage, comes out at 13 frames very fast. If you cancel into flicker when you do it, you can stance cancel and you recover pretty much instantaneously. Steve takes no risks falling back and using this move. This is the new outfox step, by the way, up back free. Very powerful to create distance between you and the opponent. Up back free goes into Lionheart stance, the new stance. You can press 4 to cancel. This is very powerful stuff. But again, so backbone is back one. Back one is the backbone of your arsenal. It's even used aggressively, defensively and aggressively. This move does it all. On block, it's only -1 when you go into flicker. So you can actually threaten here with flicker pressure. Yeah. Did my stick just break? No, it's still working. I can't speak highly enough of back one. And then other counter hits are 1-1. This is the best jab string in the game. If this counter hits 31 damage and tracks like a motherfucker and jails on block, there's nothing the opponent can do about this string, pretty much. It's just in their face, and when you cancel into flicker, you can cancel into peekaboo, which is another stance, and big frames. And on block, -1. This is a ridiculous string. You can also do 4 hits and be -4 if you go into a duck. So if your opponent is not expecting the last hit, sucks to be him, kablam, dead. Steve is good with the rush down and the counter hits. And then we have down for 2, which is only -2 on block. Hits extremely low to catch people ducking or using evasion. And this on counter hit, you get this for huge damage, the Gatling. Flicker 2 is another safe on block, only -5. Long range mid counter hit launcher. Very, very strong attack. And then Swindler. He has a ton of new attacks that does this. Goes into new stance, Lionheart. All of these attacks, you see that homing high. All of those can be cancelled by tapping 1. This one, for example, tap 1 and he does Swindler. This is a safe on block counter hit launcher that does a ton. So Swindler mix-ups are going to be a big deal in Tekken 8. Stance pressure, forward 3-4, peekaboo. Back 3-4, flicker. And he has tons of moves to get into these stances, right? Tons of them, and you'll figure these out. 4-1, 2-1. And then in peekaboo, so many options to stress your opponent's guard, right? So many options to stress the guard. This is because you don't use conventional 50-50 with Steve. With lows, you have some nice lows, don't get me wrong. But it's no knockdown low to vortex pressure into Oki. Damek 3-2, Lionheart, right? Upward 3-2, Lionheart. You don't knock down, you go into pressure mix-up. So no conventional is it a mid or a low. We don't do too much of that. With Steve, it's more about pressuring the guard, scoring counter hits. And the new Lionheart stance, again, flicker pressure is very strong. Note the frames on block, right? Very strong frames. We have strong stance pressure in that. But the new 50-50 is basically going to be applying the new Lionheart stance. And here you have guard breaks, right? So with Steve, you don't really need them to duck again. You don't threaten lows. You can threaten guard breaks. Can I get you to duck, Nina? Mama, can you duck? block, I mean. Look at her guard. Look at her health bar. You see? And when Lionheart breaks the guard, gives me 12 frames. Lionheart 1+2. Knockdown, but also breaks the guard. Can you block it? Breaks the guard, I get 12 free frames. I can do 2-1 peekaboo. Or 2-1 flicker. And apply pressure, right? So not a conventional 50-50, but we break the guard. So we have strong pressure. We have strong stance pressure. Again, Lionheart. You have a guard break, which is a high. And you have, but we can duck that, right? So that's a bit risky. But then you can do Lionheart 1, which is safe on block at -8, and it's a homing heat engager. This is really powerful, right? And you also have a mid launcher. -13 on block though, but still very strong. The drawback to all of this is that you have no punishment at all. You have a nice long range 14 frame and Sonic Fang. Your 10 frame is 1-1-2, 12 frame 2-1, but you can launch from crouching at 18 frames. But the problem for Steve is he can't launch anyone for doing something that's super minus. Mama here, oh sorry, record, yeah. Mama here is doing a big launch that's -17. Every character in the game is gonna launch this, except for your boy Steve. He only gets back 2. Back 2 into back 1, and some Lionheart stuff, pretty much. Like this. He can't launch. You can do manual peekaboo down for 2, but that comes out at like fastest 18, 19 frames, and it's very hard to do. So, while Steve is awarded a ton of safety with his options, right? He's so safe, but he awards that same safety to his opponent. Your opponent can throw launch punishable stuff, and you can't launch them for it. It's a big, very interesting contrast to the character. I find that really cool. Core Circle Ford 1 is a super strong wall splat. Wall splats from 1,000,000 miles away and is only -3 on block when you go into flicker. And it's a heat engager. -3. In heat, this launches. Oh, sorry. In heat, this launches. That's super good. Sonic Fang, they whiff anything from far away. Boom! Heat engager. Very strong. Really cool stuff. And then when you're in heat, you now have a safe mid launcher. Down for 3-4, instant duck in. Costs a lot of bar to use though, but instant duck in 1, safe mid launcher. Can mix with his new clinch. Do a throw from the fast duck in. Down for 3-4. Do a throw. You can do a 1 option, and you can do a 2 option. They can break these by pressing the right break, 2 or 1. 2, 50 damage, ton of damage. Clinch 1 gives 14 frames. Can do that. Or can do back 1-2 and threaten Lionheart. Or you can do instant peekaboo forward 1+2 to wall splat. I'm running out of time on my 8-minute guide. There, you can get that to connect. Unfortunately, I suck. But tough execution with this character. But yeah, that's Steve in a nutshell. Really cool, really fun to play. Highly unique. Tough on execution. Complex move list. Lots of stances as well. So tough to play, but really worth it in the end. This video is definitely 8 minutes.